Your best choice. BEFM 부산 영어방송.
9년 전 한국에서의 새로운 출발을 위해 부산을 처음 찾은 프랭크. 부산의 자연과 사람, 부산에서 누리는 모든 것을 사랑하는 그는 부산의 변함없는 한대에 늘 감탄합니다.
I think that Busan
부산의 한결같은 모습도 늘 감동을 주지만 이제는 부산의 미래를 꿈꾸며 2030년 부산의 새로운 도약을 기대합니다.
Busan people are very proud of their city. They want to share the city with everyone. If we get the World Expo, it'll really put Busan on a global map.
세계 박람회가 어울리는 도시, 미래를 향한 힘찬 도약. 부산에서 출발한 파도는 이미 세계를 향해 뻗어 나가고 있습니다. 2030 부산 세계 박람회. 부산이 시작하고 대한민국이 함께 이뤄갑니다. 이 캠페인은 지역과 함께하는 든든한 동반자 BNK 부산은행과 함께합니다.
Coming up next is Inside Out Busan with Laura McLucky and Minsu Shin. BFM 부산 영어방송.
Hello, good evening and welcome to another episode of Inside Out Busan here at BEEFM, or so it says behind me.
Beef! It's what's for dinner.
So what's for dinner? Question, do you feel happy when you think about your wedding? You're like, maybe you've had one or two, your past weddings. And if you're single, do you think of what kind of wedding you might dream of?
Yeah, I mean, wedding is something that I'm sure for most people has crossed their minds at least once, right? So as you know, South Korea has recently seen a huge increase, a surge in demand for premium hotel weddings that can cost hundreds of millions of won.
What? But even with these extravagant proposals worth millions of won, major foreign media has reported that Korea's marriage rate has reached an all-time low.
I know, I'm seeing some irony here, right?
Yeah.
So, listeners, is, the wedding ceremony or even the proposal culture here in Korea, is it necessary? Do we need it? It's kind of tricky, no?
Somebody said you got a new friend. Does she love you better than I can? Big black sky over my town. I know where you at, I bet she's around. Yeah, I know it's stupid, but just gotta see it for myself. I'm in the corner, watching you kiss her. Oh, I'm right over here. Why can't you see me? Oh, I'm giving it my all, but I'm not the guy you're taking home. Ooh, I keep dancing on my own. I'm just gonna dance all night. I'm all messed up, I'm so out of line. Stilettos and broken bottles, I'm spinning around in circles. I'm in the corner, watching you kiss her. Oh, kiss her. Oh, I'm giving it my all, but I'm not the guy you're taking home. Ooh, I keep dancing on my own. I keep dancing, oh yeah. I'm in the corner, watching you kiss her. Oh, I'm right over here, why can't you see me? Oh, I'm giving it my all, but I'm not the guy you're taking home. Ooh, I keep dancing on my own. I keep dancing on my
Oh, yes. A little bit of Robin to kickstart your Friday night here at Inside Out Busan. That was Dancing on My Own by the fabulous Robin.
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous, darling.
Trying to get our listeners in the mood for Friday.
Yeah.
TGIF.
TGIF,
Yeah.
everybody.
It's a wet one, but still Friday.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
The weather has been so dramatic.
I know.
Oh, isn't she dramatic?
I know.
Right up my alley.
아침에 저 나갔는데 비가 너무 많이 와서 like I was like in shock of how much it was raining.
What did you look like? How was your shocked face?
I was like umbrella like
Did you really walk around with your hand on your chest like that?
but I was like looking around like is this real life? Because there's so much rain.
Yeah.
And then like in a 5-minute span I was walking, it was like on and off.
Yeah.
Like 왔다 갔다. Like pouring and then it stops.
You know what? You and the
Pouring
weather
and it
have
stops.
something, I mean, in common. Very
think
much
so.
in common.
Oh.
Drama queens.
Dra-
Such a drama.
dare you.
Is this even real life?
그래 말이야.
That's how I feel. And I hope you did that.
Yeah, I did.
I imagine that would be what you would do in the rain. I like it.
Only in the rain that I'm a drama queen.
Yes.
But I hope our listeners are all safe and sound and dry.
Indeed, indeed. And if you just joined us, welcome to the show. It's Inside Out Busan, 6:15 on the clock. I'm Laura McCluckey.
And I'm Min-Soo Shin. Welcome to our show. So as we started off our Friday show, more than 40% of South Korean women, they say they want their wedding proposals with a luxury piece of jewelry or a designer handbag. They want the proposal to happen at a hotel as well.
This is so romantic, isn't it?
Talk about drama queens.
Talk about love, eh? Oh, love. I don't need the stuff. I just need the love.
And yeah, it's
and the
okay. I
stuff.
mean, you could have like, you could like plan your own proposal and like what you would be gifted, in your mind. That's something that they would want. It's not like something it would actually happen.
Yeah.
Though, right? Now, when it comes to the men, more than a third of the men that took this survey, they cited financial burden for not wanting to propose.
역시.
So we have this clash of minds, right? When we propose, I want it to be at a hotel, and I want you to bring a fat diamond ring or designer handbag. And then we have on the other side, I ain't got money for any of that,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to propose.
Here's the thing. See, when my husband proposed to me many, many years ago, he was still not working. He was still in between jobs. I didn't care. I had my money. I work myself.
Yeah.
And I know that financial security is a lot of the reason why, it's something that people really do have to think about. But I didn't. I just I really love this guy. I want to be his wife. And, then you work together to get that financial security.
Yeah.
Don't be asking for rings and bags as a condition of a proposal.
Yeah.
No.
But this culture is not only very, of course, well known here in Korea, but like the rest of the rest of the world knows it.
Actually, recently the Wall Street Journal featured this kind of extravagant proposal culture that we do here in South Korea, especially amongst younger Koreans who are financially able to do so. They spend a significant amount of money to propose to their lifelong partners. So. Not just the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times also highlighted that lots of people in Korea have doubts about marriage because it's so expensive.
Yeah, it's come to a point where like marriage is like for people who could afford it.
Isn't that sad?
That is sad, right? that means there's a price on love, kind of,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of other foreign medias have warned that the increasing reluctance of Koreans to marry, this could actually worsen our country's already lowest birth rate in the world.
It's very true. And the number of South Korean marriages that have been happening over the years, it's sunk to an all-time low. The population is shrinking. Fewer people view marriage as a necessity
Yeah.
of life. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, you know what? I'm happy on my own.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Right? So this is, I don't know, it's kind of like a conflict of minds here in Korea. Is it different from generation? Because I know it's the older generation that
think
says
it is.
family is a must, right? And then that's trickled down to the younger generation. But for the younger generation, they've come to realize, okay, that is important, but we don't have like the needed, the finances
Yeah.
to have that family, right?
It's
It's tricky.
It's got to be set right by the systems, the culture, policies, all of those kind of things,
Yeah.
but also personal preference.
That's true too. I think that's indeed that's a big one, right? Personal preference. It comes down to it, but I don't know if like other like factors, like less of a burden when it comes to raising a family, getting a house, and everything. If those things were solved, I think more people will be open to the idea of getting
absolutely.
married and having a family. Right?
Honestly, it's the best thing that I've ever done.
yeah,
I love it.
same here.
Someone to blame for all my problems.
Someone to cover for me with all my problems.
Someone to offload on. Someone to complain to.
Oh, you are vying for marriage right
Yes.
now, right?
No, I mean, I'm really, of course, I'm joking, but like, it's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I love
Yeah.
it. But I also recognize not for everybody.
그래 말이에요. It's interesting how we just wanted to bring these the results of this survey and what other foreign media and just people around the world are thinking about the marriage culture here in Korea specifically. Folks, we have lots to get to on our program today. We have Gina coming in later for today's TJF Live Music.
And yet we're still talking.
And we're still talking. She'll be in soon. But somebody who's been oh so patiently waiting, Annie.
It's time for News Bites. Annie's in the studio. Good evening, Annie.
Good evening.
Hi, hi.
How are ya?
I can feel like the monsters clawing at my dark circles, but I feel good.
Oh,
it's Friday.
Are they tugging at it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite heavy.
Come sleep.
You know
with
what you
us,
should do? You should have
Annie.
kids. Then you'll never escape.
I mean, I don't want to go to sleep yet. So don't.
That's
Got it.
the answer. That's the
Look
answer.
at my dark circles. I wear them proudly.
Well, I mean,
I didn't put these on myself.
I
Well,
have questions about it because
yeah.
I'm married.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
mind,
yes.
You mind taking off your hat? We can't see the dark circles
Nope.
because the brim is already casting a shadow over your
I
face.
know what I've done. I've done
Oh,
it
I
for
missed
a
the
reason.
hat memo today.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay, next time, Annie.
All right.
But let's get to news today. What do you got?
Right. First, there were recent media reports criticizing that the sample size for the radioactive level test for seafood and marine products that is currently being carried out by Busan City is too small. And to this, the South Korean government actually refuted by saying that it is an unreasonable criticism. So first, Vice Minister of Government Policy Coordination, Park Gu-yeon, explained at the daily briefing that the local government inspections are only a procedure to reinforce safety measures at the distribution stage. For imported seafood and marine products, it's the Ministry of Food and Drug Safety, along with the 6 local food and drug administrations, to take responsibility, adding that the main inspections are actually carried out at the import stage, not distribution.
Yeah. Now this is the actual carrying out of the country's plans to make sure everything's safe. But what does this in particular mean when it comes to in layman's terms?
Right. I just wrote it a little confusing, but seafood imports from Japan have to go through this rigorous document as well as origin inspection on site when it enters, and then it goes into a radioactive level test. And then after it passes all 3 of these steps, it enters the distribution stage headed to the South Korean market. The local governments are therefore just checking again after all of the initial inspections, basically to ease the consumers' minds and also to reinforce the first tests. And the government also revealed, just a little tip here, they have plans to supply an additional 400 tons of sea salt sometime next week, possibly on the 19th.
Well, this isn't going away, this issue, and we're going to hear more and more about it. So we'll hear, I guess, more about the imports, more about... There's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, you can't not talk about it,
Of course.
unfortunately.
What's next, Annie?
Right. Are you guys aware of what aspartame is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the World Health Organization, or WHO, as well as some relevant institutions, wrapped up its review on this artificial sweetener called aspartame today. They categorized it as a possible carcinogen, but also said it is safe for people to consume within the recommended daily limits. The WHO, for those who don't know, categorizes on this like 1, 2, and 3 scale, with 1 being carcinogenic, like 100% it is, and then 2 is separated into 2A and 2B. 2A is 75% carcinogenic, or possibly. 2B is 50% possibly carcinogenic, and then 3 is basically not classifiable. So with aspartame being classified 2B, that's like a 50% possibly carcinogenic. It is possible to be reclassified later on if there's further research that comes out after classification, deeming it a higher level of carcinogenic.
That's interesting. I was actually watching a documentary today about carcinogenic food products, specifically processed meat. Like ham, deli meats, hot dogs, bacon, that kind of
so
stuff.
good.
It's a class 1 carcinogenic. Class 1. That's the same as smoking and plutonium.
Glad I don't eat it.
Yeah, glad I don't eat plutonium as well. I got to be vegan. Anyway, zero foods and beverages are very, very popular, not just in Korea, but across the world. So how will the Korean government respond to this?
Right. Well, first, I actually want to point out, have you guys seen the ice cream commercial for 0 calories? That was kind of shocking to me. Or
0-calorie ice cream?
There's a commercial.
How does that work?
I have no idea with aspartame. So the Ministry of Food and Drug Safety here in Korea said it will maintain the daily intake level of aspartame at 40 milligrams per kilogram, and that's in consideration of the Joint Expert Committee on Food Additives, JECFA, which is under the WHO. They have recommended this level. However, the ministry emphasized that it will keep a very close eye on food products on the market that use aspartame, and they will review the relevant standards if it is deemed necessary. As for the companies that use this sweetener, it seems they are reviewing using like other artificial sweeteners, such as stevia and sucralose, mainly to ease consumers' concerns.
Yeah, people are worried about it.
Yeah, right.
Quite rightly so.
Now, this doesn't mean then just go back to regular,
No.
right, sodas, but it's good to know that.
Just know and consume.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Good news for some, worrying news for others. Let's move on to our final bit of news.
Right. I could not bring this. Could not. Anyways, the Screen Actors...
Should not. I don't know.
Stop it.
Anyways, the Screen Actors Guild, or SAG, have joined the Writers Guild of America to strike against studios' unfair conditions as well as treatment. So they joined at midnight Thursday, so that's Los Angeles time, resulting in about 160,000 actors and performers to stop
Love this.
all work and also to walk out.
I love it.
160,000?
60,000.
That's Hollywood right there.
They're standing behind their writers.
That's all of
That's
Hollywood.
Fantastic.
So this has brought the U.S. film and TV productions to just a complete halt, as actors cannot appear in films or even promote the films that they have already made over the duration of this strike. Notably, it was in a lot of the news medias today, but actors from the new movie Oppenheimer, so that's like Cillian Murphy, Emily Blunt, Matt Damon,
I was
Florence
looking forward to
Pugh,
that.
they all walked out in the middle of the UK premiere event as soon as the strike went into effect.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
To write their
mic
pickets.
drop, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then what are they hoping to achieve through the strike?
Right. So SAG wants streaming companies to agree to a fairer division of profits. So here, like a few big names make most of the money, and then the other artists don't really make much. They also want better working conditions, of course. They are also against, this is pretty interesting, against AI, wanting actors protected from AI digital replicas replacing the actors themselves.
Yeah.
And actually, in response to this, the studios offered a proposal to require consent before they use these replicas. But of course, they rejected this.
That's nuts.
You know, this kind of brings up Black Mirror.
Black Mirror. That's
Yeah.
exactly Black Mirror.
Episode number 1.
Exactly. Well, picketing will begin Friday morning local time, so in a couple hours, in front of major production company headquarters. And the writers, that's 11,500 of them, have been demanding better pay as well, and also better working conditions since May 2nd.
Yeah.
Wow.
More than 2 months.
Keep humans in human jobs.
Yeah. I mean, AI, it's going crazy, right? And now it's crazy enough that, a lot of writers and like a lot of these, people, filmmakers are so worried about them. But not just that, just overall, just general taking good care of just people that made the movies, right?
Yeah.
Not it's all about the production company getting all the money, but really like 챙겨ing the people that made them what they are.
You got to look after the people who put you where you are.
Yeah, exactly.
So we may have nothing to watch in a couple months. Just be prepared. A lot
all
of
right.
Korean.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of reruns.
Same here. Reruns for me.
The Office all day.
Well, Annie, how did you know?
Basically.
Annie, thank you so much. That'll do it for today's News Bites. You have a good weekend. We'll see you back here next Monday.
See you Monday.
Thanks, Annie. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, let's have a song break. This is Anderson .Paak and Mac Miller. Dang.
Can't keep on losing you over complications. Gone too soon. Wait, we was just hanging. I can't seem to hold on to. Dang, the people that know me best, the key that I won't forget. Too soon. I can't keep on losing you. I can't keep on losing you. Yeah. How many mistakes do it take till you leave? And I'm left with my hand and my face all red and the face looking at you like, wait, I know I ain't a saint if it ain't too late. Well, I can't keep on losing. I run away so fast, no my heart like gold, but it break like glass. No my get old and I act so young, baby you so cold, never had no son. You don't wanna grow up, you no fun. So when I get home, I'ma give you some, make it feel like when I hit that drum, yeah the game free, I don't get no. Yeah, it's complicated, got you frustrated. Get home late, and you don't trust me, baby. Way too drunk, you don't know what I'm saying. You can drive my car, don't drive me crazy. Complicated, got you frustrated. Every single night I keep you waiting. You say you don't care, that's what you're saying. We both know that's a move. Okay, we be fighting, we be reuniting. Kiss me, touch me, tease me, me excited. Got a devil who is so trying to get through to you because I can't keep on losing you over complications. Gone too soon. Wait, we was just hanging. I can't seem to hold on to. Dang, the people that know me best, the key that I won't forget. Too soon. I can't keep on losing you. Can't keep 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 losing you. Well, you can't go away, girl. I'ma need you. Play your games like they might take it to an Ivy League school. Won't get Hall of Fame from a minor league dude. I see other people need food. Only got a little time and I ain't trying to spend it. Arguing about who ain't giving who attention. Tarting up the engine, need to reboot. I see other people need food. And I use every bone in my body. Keep on holding on to your trust. I know you don't want nothing to do with me, but just one more time, let's make love. One more time, it ain't much. Oh, let's be us. Summer soft sweetness. Call late drunk, you hang up. What a mess I made of. Sense I make none. It's complicated, keeping me up late. Can't concentrate, you're always on my brain. If you love me, why come with pain? I just think that's some boom. Okay, it seemed inviting. Trust me, she's a titan. This week she like him. Next week they fighting. Need protection, all your dress is bulletproof. You safe with me, girl. I can't keep on losing you. Where you taking this trip to? Wait, don't say to. I can't keep on losing you. Wait, on losing you over complications. Gone too soon. Wait, we was just hanging. I can't seem to hold on to. Dang, the people that know me best, the key that I won't forget. Too soon, I can't keep on losing you. Can't keep 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 losing you.
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
Dang. Dang.
Anderson Peck, Pexi, and Mac Miller with Dang.
Dang.
That's the name of the song.
I love it. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Friday.
Yeah.
Dang. It's already 6:33 on the clock. I'm your host, Laura McCluckey.
And I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. Everybody staying dry out there? I know it's still coming down. Well, here in Centum, at least.
I don't know. We're inside. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We've got the curtains down.
Oh, I was maybe outside right before our show started. So 30 minutes ago, as of 30 minutes ago, it was still raining.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good.
But you got details, exact details.
I do have the details.
The detailed details on
It's
it.
currently averaging around 25 degrees here in Busan. Morning lows of 24 tomorrow morning. Afternoon highs of 27. This weekend, strong rain accompanied by strong winds, thunder and lightning will continue across the country. So please do be cautious of landslides and safety accidents.
네, 이번 주말에도 전국 대부분 지역에 돌풍과 천둥 및 번개를 동반한 매우 강한 비가 계속 오겠습니다. 산사태 및 안전사고 등에 유의하시기 바랍니다. Everybody stay safe, okay? When it comes to our traffic, we have congestion on Gwangnam-lo from the former Busan 문화방송 going towards 동방 오거리. There's also congestion on Gobun-lo from Yeonil Market going towards Yeonsan Tunnel. And then we have slow-moving traffic on Yeonhan-lo from Togok Junction going towards Allakgyo 오거리, as well as slow-moving traffic on Bonyeong-lo from Munyeon Interchange going towards Gwangan Tunnel. Everybody,
Drive safe.
부탁드릴게요.
부탁드릴게요.
네.
All right, let's move on to the IOB 5분 상식. It's time for the IOB 5분 상식, getting you in the know some of the most trending, useful, need-to-know words and expressions in the world. 5분만 들으면 유식해지는 시간이죠.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
오늘은요. 왜 모든 판다는 중국으로 돌아갈까요? 이거 대해 알아보도록 하겠습니다. 아이고 보자. 자, 후바오. Today I have both good news and bad news. Which one do you want to hear first?
I'll start with the good news.
Okay. Do you remember what you always told me? The story you used to tell me every hour, literally every hour of the day.
Once every hour, was it about wanting a sibling? Don't tell me I have a sibling now.
Yes, Fubao, you finally have 여동생. Actually, 여동생s. Actually, no, just 동생s in general. You have twins.
Really?
As 동생s.
Wow, now I won't be lonely anymore and I can play with my twin sisters every day. But wait, what's the bad news?
The bad news is that the days that you can play with your twin sisters are very limited.
But why? They're my twin sisters. Why can't I play with them every day?
Actually, you have to leave Korea and go back to China soon. I'm really sorry.
What? Why? I finally got the twin sisters I've been dreaming of. Why do I have to go back? Daddy and Mommy are here too.
Oh, you have to go back to China before you turn 4 years old. I tried my best to find a way to let you stay, but my hands are tied.
I don't want to go. Daddy and Mommy and the world's cutest
Busan's twin sisters are here. 푸바오는 가기 싫어.
Oh, here, don't cry, 푸바오.
아 진짜 너무나 열렸다. 너무 슬픈 사실이야.
갑자기
Don't send 푸바오.
갑자기 푸바오 근데 왜 타이니 팀이 됐어요?
No, she was from Colchester.
Oh, there you go.
She was
Please,
from England.
Please, sir.
That's not Tiny Tim. That's Oliver Twist.
Oh, that's all over twist.
Get
I'm
your
sorry.
references correct, Minsu.
I apologize, 푸바오.
Shocking.
푸바오 그래서 보내야겠네.
푸바오 너무 슬프겠다.
그래 말이에요. 자, I think it was just yesterday, right? Annie shared with us the news that, twins, 푸바오 has twins. But, here in Korea, actually, back in 2016, our country received a pair of pandas, A-bao and Lu-bao, as gifts back then. The baby panda gave birth to Fu Bao, which has been receiving a lot of love since its birth and has become a national panda. However, as she turns 3 years old this year, there are only a few days left until he has to return to China. And a lot of people are very sad. And Fu Bao just got his sisters too. So why do all pandas have to go back to China?
Well, I mean, national animal, right? So the majority of pandas worldwide are actually owned by China. Currently, pandas living in various countries have either been loaned or they've been given as diplomatic gifts by China. So pandas are considered very rare. They're a very valuable species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, or the IUCN. So therefore, since 1984, great year, by the way.
Yeah.
China has only allowed pandas to be leased to other countries for breeding purposes, citing the risk of extinction.
Then, what kind of agreement is made when, I guess, we're kind of like renting the pandas?
Kind of like renting pandas, but don't think of it as renting. Think of it as conservation. Think of it as conservation.
Like us taking care of the panda.
Yes, we're adopting them, we're fostering them for a while. So the country that rents pandas or that fosters or adopts these pandas enters into a breeding and ecological joint research agreement. So typically, the lease fee for a pair of pandas is around $1 million, which is around 1.3 billion Korean won. And they must be returned to China after 10 to 15 years. If they do give birth to offspring, then the ownership belongs to China, and the offspring must be sent back to China 2 to 4 years later, where they can continue these ecological projects.
I see. Now, a little bit about these pandas. Now, I heard...
가보자고님 says Minsu looks like Fu Bao.
감사합니다. Pandas are very cute, right? I'm going to take that as a
I think
compliment.
you look like Po from Kung Fu Panda.
He's a panda too,
yeah.
right? Stop giggling over there, all right? I'm going to turn all your mics off.
Yeah.
Anyways, giant pandas, I heard that they need to start socializing and meet a mate by the age of 4.
Yes.
Right? So this period is called the breeding maturity stage for pandas. Then is there any way for Fu Bao to meet its mate? Maybe here in Korea? Is there a way for Fu Bao to stay?
No. So, of course, when we think about 4 in human age, we think 4-year-old child, very young, very small, very cute, needs mom and dad. But actually, it's not. It's completely different. This is a breeding maturity stage, and they are an endangered species, so they cannot find a mate here in South Korea. So they've got to go back to China before they turn 4 to undergo training for adaptation to be put back into the wild. Now, there are no provisions in the agreement that allow them to be kept domestically without being sent back to China. So Fu Bao also needs to be returned to China before July 20th, 2024. And the recently born twin sisters must also go back to China based on the agreement before July 7th, 2027.
So I guess, everybody within, by the year has to say their goodbyes to Fu Bao.
Yeah.
Right? Before going back.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's it.
너무 슬퍼.
네,
But it's a
슬퍼요.
good thing. It's a really good thing.
It is,
It's a beautiful
right?
thing.
And it just goes to show you that how, Korea, how much effort that they put in to take care of Fu Bao
Yeah.
this whole time. All right. Why do pandas have to return to China? 멸종 위기종인 판다의 소유권은 중국이 갖고 있어요. 새끼를 낳아도 그 소유권은 중국이며 4년 안에 중국으로 보내야 한다고 합니다. 오늘의 5분 산책이었습니다. 김대리, 퇴근하나?
예, 부장님.
집이 교회종이지? 같은 방향인데 같이 가지? 요즘 회사 생활 어떤가?
아, 예, 저 열심히 잘하고 있습니다.
결혼 생활도 재밌지?
아, 예, 뭐 즐겁죠, 예. 저 그 라디오라도 좀.
오, 그래 라디오.
네가 저번 주에 온 신참인 것 같네.
22번 홀림병.
진짜 회사 생활 쉽지 않다. 어색한 이 순간 인사이드 아웃 부산과 함께하세요. 오늘은
It's time for the TGIF live studio. Gina's in the house.
안녕하세요.
Hi, 진아 씨 안녕하세요.
Hi, Gina.
How are you? Oh, you're
good,
extra
good.
excited today.
Gina's excited. She's going to 회식 after this.
그럼 우리 빨리 끝내줘야겠네요.
안녕.
너무
She's gone.
너무
There is no main event today.
너무 가고 싶어하는 거 아니야? 진아 씨 먼저 하고 빨리 보낼 거예요, 우리 로라.
Okay. 괜찮아요.
아니에요, 진아 씨.
아니야,
You're on the clock. You're with us for the next 14 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Gina, thank you so much for coming in today for TGIF Live Studio. 이럴 때 이런 노래.
Yeah.
So everybody, if you haven't already done so, log on to our YouTube right now.
Oh, God.
I mean, you could listen to us on the radio too, right? Sound quality actually might be a little better there. But it's all about the visuals because we have the two divas here at BFM set to perform
I
today.
thought it was me that was performing today. I didn't realize it was the divas.
I said it was two divas first, right? 오늘은 로라랑 진아 씨가 노래를 들려줄 건데요. 너무 기대가 됩니다.
Yeah.
So, as always, the opening act.
The opening act, the warm up, the disappointment. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what song I'm going to sing
Oh,
because I want to give you a hint. And Minsu, I think out of everybody, you're going to appreciate this the most.
그래요? I'm afraid I might not get it.
You will get it, 100%. You'll get it.
Oh,
You'll
okay.
get it.
But who do you want to dedicate this
Okay,
to and
so
why?
I want to dedicate this first of all to my friend Troy, whom I used to spend way too long in the norebang with, and I miss him dearly. But we would go out, we'd go for dinner, and we'd go for a couple of drinks, and then both of us just love to sing. So we'd end up in the norebang until like 3 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning. Back when I was much younger.
Wow.
And so we used to sing this song a lot together just
Yeah.
because it's so good. And also, I want to dedicate it to everyone who is just like the weather, dramatic. Way dramatic. So this is going to be like a dramatic over version of
뭘까
a
너무
different
궁금하다.
song.
너무 궁금하다.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
So without further ado, shall
Let's
we?
just do it. Yeah, it's funny.
I'm gonna give you the reverb.
Okay, give me all the reverb.
그
Let me
정도,
turn
그 정도
my
괜찮아요?
earphones up.
All right.
Wow.
So as Laura gets her headphones right, here we go. Laura's rendition of Surprise
Something.
Song. Listeners, you too, guess what song she is singing. Here we go.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man, didn't deserve it. Maybe treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying to chalk. I really hate to trip, but I gotta lock. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool! I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night, singing prayers in the street light. Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Like the situation they got me facing, I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the street. I gotta be down with the routine
Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. I got a 10 in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I locked out gangsters, said trippin' banger. And my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool, death ain't nothing but a hobby the way I'm living life, do or die. What can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24? I don't know. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives. Gangster's paradise. Power and the money, money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour, everybody's running, but half of them are looking going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's cooking. They say I gotta learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand, how can they reach me? I guess they can't, I guess they won't, I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck, fool. Been spending most their lives in a gangster's paradise. Been spending most their lives living in a gangster's paradise. Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most our lives living in the gangster's paradise. Spending most our lives gangster's paradise.
I've never heard it sound like that. I've never heard it sound like that. Wow, that was good. That was good. That caught me off guard too. 어이구. So that was Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise in the rendition of Laura. Very soulful rendition of Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise.
I was going to sing the original version.
네.
But then I realized that I don't sound as like I don't sound gangster. I sound
This was the perfect choice, I think. 저 깜짝 놀랐어요. 근데 너무 잘했어요. 너무 잘했어요. Slew of messages coming in. We have Wheeler Karma님 saying, "Wow, turn up the volume. It's a real singer." Mr. E giving a 4 fingers. You know what those fingers are?
I love it, Mr. Lee. Thank you.
JB님 원석이 좋습니다. JYP 쪽에 한번 try.
Yeah.
네, JYP 한번 가볼래요?
좋아요.
저 JYP 한번 할 수 있겠다.
가자.
Right? 할 수 있겠다. 가보자고님, Laura can rap, sing, right? Lots of hearts, brat. Wow, Laura.
Wow.
저 big ups to you. Mad respect,
You like
yo.
that?
Mad
I
respect.
think that's a new genre that I'm
그래
gonna
말이야.
just
Rap,
break
sing,
down rap.
Sing rap, rap
Yeah.
sing. I
Yeah.
mean, like, you've had like, people like Drake and do it, but you took it to another level today. Nice.
You're welcome. Thanks very
아이고
much.
감사합니다. But now for the main event. Gina 씨, Gina, what do you have for our listeners today?
I brought like a summer song.
Yay.
놀러 가자.
근데
Bye.
저번 주도 제가 여름 노래 하고 너무 비가 왔잖아요. 근데 오늘도
그러니까요.
여름 노래 갖고 왔는데 비가 너무 와요.
여름이지.
그래도 여름이잖아요.
비 와도 놀러 갈 수 있잖아.
맞아요. 지금 밖에 못 나가니까 그냥 노래로 신나게 한번 해볼까 싶습니다. So dedicated to everybody, kind of stuck indoors,
Right.
right?
Wanna like 놀러 가고 싶은
맞아요.
사람.
얼마나 큰 사람 많겠어요. Nice. So shall we do it right away then?
Yeah.
네, 거미의 놀러 가자. Sung by Gina.
오늘 햇살이 좋아 뭔가 하고 싶은데 그를 만나서 데이트를 해볼까 차를 마시러 갈까 영화를 보러 갈까 이게 아니야 특별하지 않잖아 늘 틀에 박힌 건또 같은 거 그거 말고 딴 거 하고 싶어 한 번만 우우우 놀러 가자 그를 데리고 어디론가로 아세요 우우우 놀러 가자 기차도 좋고 버스도 좋아 둘이서라면 갑자기 기분 좋아 마음이 들뜨는데 그를 만나서 얘기를 꺼내볼까 콧노래가 나오네 은큼한 생각 드네 어머 아니야 무슨 생각한 거야 나 망설여지지만 부끄럽지만 그래도 내게 얘기할래 한 번만 우우우 놀러 가자 그를 데리고 어디론가로 아세요 우우우 놀러 가자 바다도 좋고 강가도 좋아 당황한 듯한 그대의 한마디
진짜? 야, 우리 최대한 멀리 가볼까?
지금 나와 같은 생각한 거니 그러면 우우우 놀러 가자 서로를 믿고 마음을 열고 아세요 우우우 놀러 가자 바람도 좋고 달도 좋아 둘이서라면 둘이서 가자 나만 따라와 놀러 가자
역시 너무 시원해. 너무 시원해. 저 여기서도 피처링 한번 했어요.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, you featured in it.
그럼 멀리 한번 가볼까 우리.
It
네.
was so 아저씨도.
아, 그래.
It wasn't like
근데-
섬남.
진아 씨가 사실 좀 아저씨 같이 읽으라고 했어요.
그래도 멀리 갈까?
뭐냐면 진아 씨가 어떻게 부탁했냐면 부산 아저씨 사투리로 말해주세요라고 이렇게 연락 왔거든요.
보지.
So I just fulfilled,
Ah, I
you know,
see. You did a
whatever
good
role
job.
that Gina
Really good
wanted.
job.
근데 진아 씨
That's
너무 시원했어요.
너무 좋았어요.
뭐가. 너무 좋았고.
역시 lots and lots of messages coming in. 지나 최고.
네.
놀러 가고파요.
그래
맞아요.
말이에요.
Sweetest voice.
네, 베스미님 nice voice 지나. 네, 최대한 멀리 가볼까. 크크크. 진짜 갑시다. 네.
좋아요.
사랑대원님 지나 짝짝짝 최고 by Mr. E. 위얼 카마님 이건 완전 포차 집으로 놀러 갈 분위기인데요.
나도 포차. 너무
맞아요.
좋아요.
근데 진우 씨 이렇게 사람들이랑 나가면 like do they 노래해 all the
네,
time?
항상 시켜요.
좋은 건데.
거기서 노래하고 여기 와서 노래하고
그러니까.
영광입니다.
좋아요.
그래도
너무 좋아요. 진짜 좋아요.
근데 진짜 진아 같은 분이 노래를 해야지
그렇지.
좀 느낌이 나지. Hopefully this gave some of our listeners some wanderlust. I know the weather isn't the best right now to go out.
I wanna go 놀고
그래 말이에요.
놀러 가자.
저도 진짜 멀리 가보고 싶습니다. 진아 씨.
어디?
님이.
아니 난 그냥 여기 근처.
뭐 근처도
근처에
좋고요.
제주도.
그냥 나가고 싶어요.
그냥 바로 next
Next
block,
door.
next door over. 뭐 그럴 수도 있지.
한 잔.
Alright, 진아 씨, thank you so much. 너무 시원한 노래 가져와서 너무
시원하다.
감사하고요.
Thank
We'll
you,
see you back here
Gina.
next week, okay?
See you next week. And we will see you at 7 o'clock, everybody. Don't go anywhere.
Transforming our world. Navigating toward a better future. The great transformation begins right here in Busan through the 2030 Busan World Expo. Busan will set a new course toward a better tomorrow for the Earth and for humanity. So we need your support to start a new movement.
I support.
지지합니다.
I support.
I support.
지지합니다.
I support. I support.
Busan, the city where you can experience nature, technology, and people. The one and only 2030 Busan World Expo awaits you.
See you right here in Busan.
See you right here in Busan. This campaign is brought to you by BFM, Busan영어방송.
안녕하세요. 전국민 안전 캠페인 홍보대사 오나라입니다. 서두르다가 안전사고 겪은 분들 많죠? 그래서 빨리빨리 하기 전에 5초만 안전습관 캠페인을 시작합니다. 에스컬레이터로 뛰어들기 전에 5초만. 멈춘 후에 손잡이 꼭 잡고 타기. 슬금슬금 우회전하기 전에 5초만. 확실히 멈추고 주의 살피기. 이륜차 타기 전에 5초만. 헬멧 확인하고 출발하기. 빨리빨리 하기 전에 5초만 멈추면 모두의 안전이 계속됩니다. 다 함께 시작해볼까요? 나부터 5초만.
5초만, 5초만.
공익광고협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 품격 있는 토크. 시끄러워 죄송합니다. 로라 민수의 Inside Out Busan.
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
It's the second half of the show, 7 o'clock on the dot and 30 seconds. Inside Out Busan, I'm Laura McCluckey.
And I'm Min-Soo Shin. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We had a question thrown out by JB님 on our YouTube saying, 원래 직업이 가수이신가요? Probably asking to Gina, right?
Gina,
You
only,
too.
Only asking to Gina?
아니요, you too.
JB
I want to say JB님 is asking the both of you. So do you want to answer on your behalf?
Actually, yes.
No.
Yeah.
And I will,
방송도 하고 가수도 되고.
네, and I will answer on behalf of Gina 씨.
Yes. Yes, we were.
We are jack of many trades. I don't want to say all trades.
We're not jacks of. Only Gina! JB, get out. Block him. Block him. Unfriend, block.
I don't have the power to, right? Only our engineers might. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to start things off for the second half on the mic.
Yes, indeed. This is where our reporters head out into the world and interview you, our listeners. So let's see who's on the mic today.
네, 자기소개 한번 부탁드리겠습니다.
네, 안녕하세요. 네, 저는 해운대구 재송 이동에 사는 강현준이라고 합니다.
네, 반갑습니다. 혹시 어떤 일을 하고 계신지 좀 궁금해요.
센텀 쪽에서 오피스텔에 있는데 경비를 맡고 있습니다.
와, 경비라고 한다면 생각보다 좀 고단한 일들이 많이 일어날 것 같은데.
평소에는 평온하지만 가끔씩 조금 악성 민원을 제기하시는 분들도 있고 또 불의의 또 사고가 발생하면은 또 바쁘게 움직여야 되는 부분은 있는 그런 고충은 좀 있는 것 같아요.
그럼 이 일을 하신 지 얼마나 되셨죠?
지금 8개월이 됐습니다.
그러면 그 8개월 동안에 좀 기억에 남았던 인상 깊었던 일이 있으셨을지.
당장 어제요. 네. 일부 지역에서 지금 갑작스럽게 폭우가 내리는 바람에 저희가 그래서 어제 지하주차장에 물을 퍼낸다고 거의 아침 9시부터 거의 오후 3시까지 종일 그냥 하루 종일 물 퍼낸다고 그런 작업을 조금 고되게 했어가지고
저희가 편히 지내는 데에는 다 누군가 이렇게 노고가 있는 것 같아요. 와, 진짜 지금 장마철이라 비가 정말 폭우 많이 쏟아지고 있는데 이 장마철을 이겨내는 나만의 팁 같은 거 있으실까요?
출근을 제외하고 그냥 무조건 집에 있는 게 최고인 것 같아요.
비가 많이 올 땐 집에 있는다. 아주 좋은 현명한 선택입니다. 이제 다양한 어떻게 보면 서비스를 하시는 일에 지금 종사하시다 보니까 스트레스도 많이 받으실 때 있을 것 같아요. 스트레스를 해소하는 방식이 있으신지.
특별할 건 없고요. 그냥 저는 여가 시간이 나면 저는 게임을 하러 가는데 보통 PC나 모바일 온라인 게임을 보통 하는데 저는 오락실에 가는 것을 좋아하거든요. 거기서 게임을 즐기는 것을 저만의 유일한 취미거든요. 그걸로 스트레스를 해소합니다.
요즘에 오락실을 잘 못 본 것 같은데 주변에 있나요?
주변에는 없고요. 보통 서면 혹은 경성대, 부산대 이쯤 가야 제가 원하는 게임을 할 수가 있기 때문에 보통 저희 집에서 한 40분 정도 소요합니다. 가는.
그 시간을 걸려서라도 오락실에 직접 가시는 거죠?
네, 그게 저희 유일한 취미입니다. 저의 다른 종류의 게임은 해봤지만 제가 하는 게임과는 다르게 조금 적성에 맞지 않아서 그렇게.
신기하다. 요새 다 온라인, 휴대폰, 모바일 게임 이런 거 하는데 오프라인으로 오락실 가신다니까 뭔가 되게 운치 있게 느껴지는데요. 이 오락실에서 어떤 게임 하시는 거예요?
제가 여러 게임을 했었지만 지금 현재 진행형으로서 즐기는 게임이라면 펌프를 하고 있습니다.
펌프는 춤, 댄스하는 그거 말씀하시나요?
네. 아주 옛날에 한 10년에서 20년 전 사이에 그 유행하던 게임 맞고요. 지금도 한동안 제가 그 게임을 좀 접었었다가 최근에 신작이 나와서 다시 요즘 운동 삼아 즐기고 있습니다.
저도 옛날에 오락실 앞쪽에 살았어서 펌프에서 나오는 온갖 음악을 기억하고 있는 추억이 있거든요. 아무래도 뭔가 힐링하고 스트레스 날리는데 게임만 한 게 없겠죠. 네. 그럼 마지막으로 저희 영어방송 청취자분들에게 그냥 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
지금 코로나가 다 풀렸다고는 하지만 그래도 아직 뭔가 완벽하게 아직 풀린 건 또 아니다 보니까 다들 건강에 조금 유념하셨으면 좋겠고 지금 또 장마철인데 다들 그런 피해 안 입도록 다들 조심하셨으면 좋겠다고 말씀드리고 있습니다.
네, 오늘 인터뷰 고맙습니다.
네, 감사합니다.
Oh, thank you so much to our reporter Jisoo, and of course to Kang Hyun-jun-nim, who lives here in Jaesongdong.
Yeah.
Oh, no, in BEFM.
Not BFM.
In Jaesongdong.
He lives in Cheongdong. He works as a security guard at an office tel, right? It's coming here to Korea that I've noticed just how common security guards are in buildings.
Yeah.
Right?
It's funny because some buildings have really young security people, and then some buildings have not so young security people. So I remember I used to live in a different apartment area in Yeonsandong. And there was a security man who was the sweetest grandpa. So sweet. Loved him. I used to take him food all the time. We used to chat all the time. Most of the time, 90% of the time I saw him, he was asleep on the job. Because he's lived for like 80 years already. He's exhausted.
근데 그런 분들요. Like, I'm sure he's sleeping because it's weird to say, yeah, he's sleeping on the job, but he was probably doing so much.
He's been super hard working.
Before and even after that.
They
Yeah.
work so hard.
Same here. I don't live in a building where there's a 경비원님 right now, a 경비원 right now, but when I used to, yeah, they would always be just all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine even patrol the apartments
Yeah.
with light sticks and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like I feel like it's it's a job / profession that doesn't get appreciated as much as it should. I think, in my opinion, right? But he says when it comes to his work, he says he deals a lot with complaints. Accidents too taking place in the building. Like recently, he mentioned he pumped water. He had to pump water for 6 hours to restore the underground parking lot because it was flooded because of the heavy rain.
That's rubbish.
Right? So I don't know. Maybe there are just systems, weren't working correctly, and he had to do it the old manual way, right? Yeah.
He also said he goes to the 오락실 to get some enjoyment.
그래 말이에요.
Playing games, hanging out.
I'm not saying like a 경비원 shouldn't go to an 오락실, but when's the last time you heard of a 경비원 going to an 오락실, right?
I love it.
Nice. How good were you at the games at the arcade?
The only one that I really actually like is 뽑기.
뽑기.
The most expensive one. The most saggy one.
The most saggy one, the one that never clings on correctly.
But the thing is, I remember back in Scotland, these machines were relatively new when I must have been about, 9, 10, 11 years old. And so they hadn't figured out how to put the algorithm in them yet to not let you win. Now they're set up the way so they're not strong enough, and it's only every somethingth time.
Have you seen these people on YouTube? They have it down to a science, where just by looking at the layout of the 뽑기 items, they know which ones to go for, and 8, 9 out of 10 times they grab at something. And they clean the place out.
But what is this life skill, and how have they practiced this life skill?
진짜 너튜브 들어가서 검색해봐요. 뽑기 달인 이런 거 있잖아요. You're going to be amazed.
But they just stop wasting their life.
10, 12-year-old Laura is going to be so jealous, right?
10, 12-year-old Laura was also one of those people.
Oh.
But it was a lot cheaper back then. Yeah, much cheaper.
근데 you have to watch how they do it. But 우리 현주님, he says, of course, being somebody that has to protect, everybody's safety and health in the building that he works in. He lastly wanted to just emphasize importance of safety, especially during the rainy season to everybody. 네.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for just that interview, 우리 강현주님, as well as a big shout out to our reporter 지수. Thank you.
Thank you
That
very
was
much.
today's On the Mic.
It was indeed. All right, are we having a little song?
Let's do it.
What do you want to listen to?
Alabama Shakes. Hold on.
Bless my heart, bless my soul. Didn't think I'd make it to 22 years old. There must be someone up above. Say, come on, Brittany, you got to come on now. You got to hold on. Yeah, you got to hold on. So bless my heart and bless
to hold on. You gotta hold on. You gotta hold on.
Alabama Shakes, Hold On.
Mm-hmm.
That reminded me a little bit at the end of Kings of Leon there.
A little bit, some of that
Yeah.
twang, right? Yeah.
I like that.
It's like a little bit of country, a little bit of rock. Hopefully you enjoyed.
I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit rockin'. Is that what you're referring to?
아니, but where's that from?
I don't know. 넘어갑시다.
Oh, I can't like put my references together today.
No.
No.
Your brain doesn't work on Friday.
On Fridays, especially because
So
it's Friday.
what's your excuse Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
아니야, Monday, Tuesday,
Monday.
Wednesday, Thursday는 좀 괜찮은데.
괜찮았어요?
I feel like my mind's a bit brighter
다시
than
듣기 한번 좀 들어보세요.
본인이 모니터링 해주세요. And you tell me.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at Inside Out Busan. It is now 7:14 on the clock. It's Friday. It's the 14th of July. I'm Laura McCluckey.
And I'm Minsu Shin. Let's see what the weather is like.
All right. Well, it's currently averaging 25 degrees Celsius here in Busan. Of course, depending on where you are, it could be a little bit more or a little bit less. You all right?
Super ambiguous,
Okay,
are we?
good. Morning lows tomorrow morning of 24 degrees Celsius, afternoon highs of 27. This weekend, strong rain accompanied by strong winds, thunder and lightning will continue across the country. So please do be careful of landslides, of course, other safety accidents as well. 모두 조심하세요.
네, 이번 주말에도 전국 대부분 지역에 돌풍과 전둥 및 번개, thunderbolt and lightning,
Very, very frightening me.
나 동반한 매우 강한 비가 계속 오겠습니다. 산사태 및 안전사고 등에 유의하시기 바랍니다.
Did you just say Mamma Mia instead of Galileo?
What did I say? I said Mamma Mia?
Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia.
Oh my gosh.
Galileo. Oh,
See, my references are all over the place today.
창피해.
조금 살짝. Onto our traffic. We have congestion on 광안 해변로 from 밀락 회센터 going towards 바다 삼거리. There's also congestion on 중앙대로 from 광무교 Bridge going towards 서면 Junction. Everybody
Drive safe.
부탁드릴게요.
Yes, indeed.
네.
All right, it's 7:16.
7:16, is it?
True. It's
네.
true.
So what's it time for?
Well, as we do every Friday, it's time for the Open Studio. Yes, that's right. Every Friday, we bring into the studio some fantastic people to talk about life, the universe, and everything. And today, we don't have just one guest, not just two guests. In fact, we've got four guests here with us
Three.
in the studio. What?
1, 2, 3.
아, 진짜 이거 무슨?
You never seen the Tootsie Roll commercials?
No.
Tootsie Pop? How many licks does it get to the center? Does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop?
No.
And then it gives it to the owl. 1, 2, 3.
I thought you were doing like the count from Sesame Street. One guest.
No, 아니에요. 아니에요.
아닙니까?
My references are all over the place today.
Anyway,
Listeners, I
let's get
apologize.
back to it. We have 3 speaking guests and 4 guests in total here in the studio. Let's introduce them and let them introduce themselves. Hello, everybody.
안녕하세요. And 반갑습니다.
But
So,
we can't speak Korean now.
oh,
Very important.
very important.
No more Korean.
Because you'll see, listeners, why
Yes.
we cannot speak Korean from here on out. We're actually going to let our special guests introduce themselves directly. So let's start from my left, the gentleman to my left. Do you want to introduce yourselves to our listeners?
Okay, let me start with an introduction of myself.
Oh, do you want to get a little closer to the mic, please?
Okay, thank you very much. I'm super nervous now. Thank you. Bear with me. And I'm Yoon, or you can call me Carl. I'm currently working in Busan City.
Oh, well, 성우님, I do apologize, but it seems that mic is not working for some reason. Here, I'm going to give you my mic, actually, and you could introduce yourself to our listeners on this.
Thank you.
There we go.
Sorry about that. I'm
No, it's
still
not you.
nervous. But let me introduce myself to you. I'm Yoon Sung-hoon, or you can call me Carl. I'm currently working in Ulsan City, but I'm from Busan, of course. So I'm commuting between Busan and Ulsan, 2 cities. And I'm working in an energy company, which is located in Ulsan. And then, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Carl. Thank you so much. 고맙습니다. All right, and let's keep the introductions moving on. 순서대로. 안녕하세요.
Okay, hello, 안녕하세요. My name is Hanju Kim. You can call me Angela as well. I'm learning small cozy cafe, and also I'm teaching English to kids. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I used to live in Singapore for 10 years
wow.
before. So that's why I enjoy to speak English, but my English is not that perfect, but I can speak English as well.
You can speak lots of different things.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Angela. Let's keep it going. To my right.
Hello, listeners. Hello, Busan. Thank you for having us here today. My name is Ihani. You can call me Andy. I am 주부 and also 학부모.
Why are you speaking Korean, Andy? I'm 주부 and
I couldn't really
학부모.
translate it. But anyway, I'm living in a very English-friendly named town, Ocean City, the western part of Busan, with my beautiful two kids, Ryewon and Songyeon, and my husband. It's been 12 years since I became the Busan citizen. And it is amazing for me to realize that I am connected to the city this much close. Thank you.
Thank you so
Nice.
much, everybody, for your introductions.
So these three special guests we have here in the studio are actually from the English-friendly city citizen participation group, 영어하기 편한도시 시민참여단에서 왔습니다. So they are here actually because, they are representative individuals from that group, and they're actually going to talk a little bit about the English-friendly city policy, as well as share some special episodes that they, experienced themselves during their time in this
Correct.
group, right?
But do you know why they're actually guests here on the show?
Why?
Because their team was the best
Oh,
out of all the teams.
Ooh. How would you know their team was the best?
Because I'm also in the teams.
Oh.
And our team was not ranked.
I knew about it.
Womp womp.
And Andy said they knew about your team.
I know, I heard.
So
I
you-
ignored it.
So you guys. So your team was famous, right?
Our team was famous. It wasn't. It
They-
was. Do you know what? It was just not meant to be. In
I
the
guess they
stars.
didn't appreciate some aspects, that your team wanted to portray.
Because of me, probably. Right?
아니에요.
Don't
They-
nod your head,
they-
Carl. Carl, come on.
So let's talk a little bit about the English-friendly city policy. 영어하기 편한 도시, excuse me. So actually, Andy, do you want to do us the honors of telling us about the policy?
Yeah, I'd love to. Well, English-friendly city is one of those key policies related to our city's growth to become a global hub city. And it's one of those, tasks to enhance our city's capacity. And according to Busan's business plan in 2023, there are 3 pillars under this policy, and which are creating an English education city, and building infrastructures for English-friendly environment, and strengthening citizens' English competency. Yes. And now the City Hall is cooperating with the Busan Metropolitan City Office of Education to build the very first English-friendly city in Korea.
Yes.
With an innovative English education system. The city is also trying to create English environment, and by providing a lifetime English program for citizens to enhance their English abilities. Yes.
Oh, well, nice summary of that, right?
You liked it?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
It really paints a very easy to digest picture of what the actually English-friendly city policy is, because we've always talked about it, not only on program, but I'm sure a lot of other programs, but what exactly is it? Well, there you go.
Well, there we go. Now we know.
Yes.
Now we know. But a lot of people are very excited about this. Of course, we had team member or team leader who is a regular guest on our show, HK Nim, and he was talking about this already. So I hope we're going to dive in and we're going to learn a bit more about what's actually happening behind the scenes, because we know a little bit about the policies, but we don't know what's been going on as, activists,
No.
what's been happening, what actions have been taken, etc., etc.
Yeah. So let's move on to 우리 현주님.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about the English-friendly city policy? Because you are like right in the middle of it. So what were your impressions of it?
Actually, I used to live in Singapore for 10 years. So once I come back to Busan, I thought, why not Busan? Busan should be like a Singapore, like an English-friendly city, as an international city. But I think in order to that, I think I want to give some my help. I mean, I think I need something to do for that. So luckily, I found this kind of a program, so I joined this. Yeah, so actually this is my first time join this kind of thing. So sometimes I'm not sure what should I do, but because of my team, I met a nice, perfect team. I'm the one of the member over here, so I'm very appreciated about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was meant to be. The stars aligned,
It
and
was.
they were the winning team, right?
And I think we often, whenever we get into a situation where it's a new event, because this is the first time it's happened, so everybody who's working on this English-friendly city Busan project, it's the first time.
Yeah.
So everybody's, just trying to figure out what to do, helping each other, and, doing it step by step. And I think that's important. So everybody's role, no matter how big or small, is very, very important, I think.
The one other person that came with you guys into studio who actually doesn't have a mic sitting behind Laura, is she also part of your team?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So this is the four the winners, right? This is one team.
But there's
that you guys
9
are-
people in a team.
Oh, okay. I see. So some people couldn't come.
Wait,
right?
where's the other 5?
They are busy.
Too busy for us?
What? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, thank you for coming, though, right? So you guys here in the studio. So I'm curious. Let's get to why you guys decided to participate in the English-friendly city citizen participation group. I'm really curious. Shall we start to my left, the gentleman?
You mean the first sort of question? What motivated you?
Yeah. What motivated you to get into be a part of this?
As a Busanian, I was born into Busan just 4 decades ago, so I love this city a lot as others do. But there is one tragedy, one sad story, because Busan is now shrinking to the extreme, I think. So, for example, when I was a child, there was a big banner, the city is dashing toward the 4 million population in the future. But actually, back then, it was 350 million, 3.5 million. But now it's almost 3 million. It's shrinking a lot.
Yeah.
And also, economic size is also shrinking a lot. And younger guys are leaving this city for their jobs in Seoul and Busan and other Changwon. And like me, I'm in Busan now. So that is a big sad story. And I tried to get a decent job in Busan. It was really hard. So that's why I'm not here. So that actually changed my mind. We need to do something like to reform this city. And one policy or message from the politics or journalist actually attracted my mind. He said, Busan city, it should be more prosperous, more global, like other global cities like Shanghai and Singapore, as she said, and Hong Kong. And the secret to those cities are speaking English. So I think English-speaking city can be a great momentum for Busan to become a futuristic and prosperous city. That's why I joined this group.
Wow.
Yeah.
So really with just the city in mind and what's happening in terms of the population and everybody leaving, right?
Yeah.
너무 멋진데요. Oh, sorry. No Korean.
No Korean.
No Korean. I
English
apologize.
friendly.
Yes.
Let's keep going down the line. Angela, how about you?
Oh, actually, I already answered about this just before. I think I just confused the
No,
question.
it's okay.
Anyway, yeah, because of that reason, it's similar. So I also want Busan to be an international city, as an English-friendly city. It doesn't mean everybody can speak perfectly. I mean, they can just use the English as without problem.
Yeah.
I mean, not only foreigners but also Busan citizens as well. So that's why I think I want to do something for this kind of Busan policy.
Yeah.
That's why I want to join here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's really important. English-friendly city doesn't mean that everybody has to now learn English and be great at English.
Yeah.
It means that people who want to use English can
Yes.
easily. That's Andy, how about you?
For me, it was education, especially for kids, based on my own interests as a parent. I have 2 kids, and they all of them go to public elementary school and public kindergarten. And at that point, I always thought that there should be like policy support for this kind of family. And it was. By the time I was applying this, citizen participation group of English-friendly city, I felt like the city was ready to catch up this, voices of citizens based on each of their interests, and I thought that it was a good opportunity for my kids and for myself as well, and that was the reason why.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's really important, I think, as well. Kids' education, private education is very expensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so there should be a lot of systematic, like just policy, like you mentioned. It should be within the education system from the beginning.
I mean, the younger, the better.
Yeah.
The more friendly learning environment, the better.
Yeah.
As you shared with Mr. Bae yesterday, I was very happy to hear him. All this Busan support, newly support that they developed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And each of the members here that are with us, it seems like it's like a very mixed bag of reasons, but all very important reasons. We had, Carl talk about people leaving the city. We had Angela talking about how, we can see other cities as benchmarks, right, when it comes to English friendliness. And then families and kids, right, that's also important too. So I like how you guys bring various aspects of why English is so important to a city like Busan. So let's get to a bit about like what you guys actually do. I'm really curious. What is the role of the citizen participation group?
From me?
Yes, please.
Okay. Actually, we are the team number 4, and then of the civic supporters group of the English Friendly City project. And then what we are doing every month is like, actually, I forgot all the items on the list that they actually deliver to on the kickoff meeting. But what we are doing every month is like to go out and walk around the city and to find inconveniences for foreigners or English-speaking people, like wrongly translated phrases or signs and signals, and then only Korean, sentences or warning signs. That kinds of stuffs are actually very inconvenient to foreigners or visitors, I think. And we are actually searching for those kind of inconveniences also, and we are coming up with good policy ideas about how to change Busan or turn Busan into English-friendly city. So every team actually organized those kind of ideas and reports into monthly report. We submit that to the Mr. Bae Hong-kwon that you had yesterday, and then he probably will think about them and probably he'll choose some good ideas for real policy. So that's actually what we are doing currently as a civic supporters.
Oh, so this is proof of the job HK Nim has.
He doesn't just wear a suit. He doesn't just have a honey voice. He actually works hard.
Yes, he does. Hard. And he's working with a lot of great people.
Yes, nice. Indeed. And so we mentioned before briefly, but the citizen participation group actually has 45 people. There's 5 different teams, 9 people on each team. So what is your impression about working together on your team number 4? Any special episodes?
Yeah, I'm curious. What was like the chemistry like with you guys?
Well, as you mentioned, we have to make this, report, document every month. And because our teammates are having various backgrounds, we needed some time to figure out how we can get this done. And we decided to use a Google Documents system. And some of us, including myself, needed to spend some time to get used to it. And at first it was difficult because it was all new, but none of us gave up. We put our effort to keep our system, and with this attitude and with our system, we can save so much time now and working very efficiently. And I am very proud of my team.
Yeah.
Thank you, teammates.
Sounds like you guys put in a lot of hard work. Angela, what about you? How was it for you?
Actually, I'm more focused on the Busan citizens. So I'm not only for kids. Actually, I'm teaching English for kids. But when I'm free time for as a hobby, I'm learning. How can I say? I'm just I forgot about it.
It's okay. Take your time.
You can say it in Korean first if you want, and then you can probably jog your memory in English.
Okay, so actually,
She's a civic. She's a genuine civic activist. I would say she's running this class. This is for citizens who are in their like 60s or 50s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not only for kids. I want to teach. Not really teach. I want to give any opportunity, any chance to the Busan, just the citizens who doesn't have any.
Like access to like English or learning English, right?
Yes, yeah.
That's great.
Person who needed English, not only who learning from overseas when they well educated. So I want this day I'm focused on who needs English chance. So I since I have a cafe, I'm learning cafe. So I have space. So I gather the people. So I share the experience. So my friends, they can speak English. They give they share their information. So we just talk and we just play together. Then we are slowly learning English. Yes, like this kind of things.
Nice. Yeah.
It's really important to do it that way. Doing it like in a non-stressful environment, really important.
And I think it's a great opportunity for it because, when you think learning English, that's only for like kids or students, but no, like all adults, right? Even the elderly should have access to learn English if they want to.
Yeah.
Right?
가보자고님 saying, why does it sound like a job interview? Haha. What are you saying? 가보자고님. On our YouTube, we've got people chiming in. This group activity is so meaningful. I would like to be a part of it.
네. 아주 좋은 팀이죠. Oh, sorry. It's a very meaningful team, right? JB님 saying, well, this is his in Korean. 와, 발음. And the 2 thumbs up. Obviously, talking about our special guest here in the studio. 이 정도 돼야 되죠.
다들 잘하심도.
Right.
JB님, I'm still annoyed at you. I'm not going to read out your messages.
Carl, what about you? Like any special episodes for you? Any memorable moments?
Okay, so as they already talked about, the experiences in the team activities. But me, aside from the team activities, I'm also running a online, English community called EST. And then I gather some Busan students or Busan workers who want to practice English together, but not only for practicing English, but also for discussing some local issues. So because I want to just talk about the current affairs that's actually taking place in Busan, politics, economy, or social issues. But I was looking for some news media and platform, of course, including BFM. But back then, I didn't know about BFM. But back then, I thought not good actually discourse space. I mean space for a discussion about current issues. So I opened that club, and we are actually dealing with many issues like queer parade or some political issues like or by-election that happened 2-3 years ago in Busan, and those kind of stuff. I wanted to talk about those issues with the Busan citizens. That's why, so that I hope that the Busan citizens will gather their ideas together to change this city toward some direction that they want. So that's what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, everybody's working really hard.
Yeah.
Not just obviously on this project, but outside of the project as well. And, lots of different activities going on within, but of course spreading even further.
Yeah, makes me think.
Effect.
Makes me think. What am I doing with my life?
Nothing.
Right. Nothing.
Nothing.
Just being on air. I have a personal question. When your team gets together, do you guys discuss and plan all in English?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
More than 98%, I would say.
Wow, that's awesome.
Because half of our members are foreigners.
Oh, okay.
She's from Hong Kong.
Leaders
yeah,
from
yeah.
America. So
Oh, I see.
One is Australia. We have Aussie guys. One lady is from Malaysia. So we are international group. So
Yeah.
we have to speak English.
그래도 멋지다.
But they can speak Korean as well. Good.
Oh, yeah, they're perfect in
their
their
Korean
Korean.
is
Yeah.
perfect.
That's great. It's like, once again, it's people coming from all different backgrounds and cultures, but they still all have like one thing in mind, making Busan a more English-friendly city, right?
Yeah.
And also any opportunity to speak a language that you're trying to learn and
yeah.
get better at as well. You want to take that opportunity.
Yeah, nice.
So we're thinking about the future. We've sadly got to wrap up our interview soon. But what about the future in terms of this group and in terms of Busan? Do you have any aspirations? Do you have anything that you really hope to see from the city? Either as part of the citizen participation group or just in general? Anybody can go. Cute.
personally, I have a dream like that one day the Busan will be becoming like a dual language city, like Singapore or or Quebec or Hong Kong, so that everybody in Busan can speak English, and then also Korean too, so that we can have a great competitiveness in business, so that we can draw more foreign capital to Busan. Of course, we can have more entrepreneurs here, so that our GRDP, this is GDP for one city, will, I hope, surpass Seoul's one. Yeah, that's my dream.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Round of applause for that.
I like
right?
it. I like it a lot.
Nice. Anybody?
Agree? Seconded and thirded.
Nah.
And I just have to ask quickly as well, because I know, of course, this is a fantastic project and it's great that you're all doing different things individually. But I think something that's going to be very difficult to change is the education system. Because children are awarded grades so much for English, and of course the English tests are a lot of what people are working towards. But when children have grades, and when anybody has grades, it makes you less likely to work hard, it makes you less likely to enjoy it. So do you have any kind of quick tips on how you, because you're also good at English, so for our listeners, a lot of our listeners really want to learn English better, but it can be a stressful thing. What are your quick tips or your helpful tips for enjoying learning English? Andy.
Oh.
Angela.
Just as you said, enjoying. Don't think English is a study. Since I also, when I was a student, I'm not good at taking a test. My score is bad. But since I like to do something, I'm interested in something, something, so I want to learn about, I want to get more information as internationally. That's why I need English, because I want to understand. So I want to listen. That's why I studied by myself. It's not really studied. So I always say my friend, English is not a knowledge. I mean, it's just a communication tool. That's all. That's all.
Yeah.
So because we are not the professor or that kind of person, so we don't need that kind of a difficult word or something like that. I think we can just speak as a kids. I mean, the native kids. I think that's enough for making an English-friendly city. That's why I want to just enjoy some. We can enjoy English with a hobby when we just enjoy something in English. I think they can speak English fluently.
Well said. Yeah. English should be fun. I think for anybody
should
to
be
learn.
fun for everybody, not just kids.
맞아요.
I have one thing.
Yes.
So I'm a big fan of this BFM, there are two programs. My favorite two programs. One is IOB, Inside of Busan.
Of course it is. You're lucky.
Wait, Carl, but why did you have to read IOB?
I was just a little bit kind of confused.
That's strange.
Secondly is the morning wave. In the morning, the first thing I do in the morning when I wake up is like to turn on the BFM channel on YouTube to listen to morning wave. I love the lady's voice. I forgot her name. Catherine, maybe. So if we have a more, English platform or broadcast system like this BFM, then or we give more budget or leeway to this kind of broadcast system, then we can have more English-friendly culture in the future in Busan. That's my wish.
I love that. More budget.
Yeah.
Hear that? Hello.
You should be a politician. I would vote for you, right?
Auntie, anything you want to add to that?
Real quick.
Yes. Like Angela said, I would also like to emphasize that let's just be confident and try not to get too nervous to show ourselves in English. It's a tool.
Yeah.
I mean, and as we all know, it's just the strength and capacities that we can have to bring more opportunities in our life and also more joys in our lives. And now the world is only getting smaller and smaller, and so it's since it's with this tool, let's just have some fun. Let's be less nervous.
Well said.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And by the way, native speakers can understand regardless.
Oh, yeah.
So like mistakes are awesome. Make mistakes. Lots and lots of mistakes.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Well, thank you so much. That'll do it for today's Open Studio with our three very special guests, Carl, Angela, and Andy, who are participants of the English-Friendly City Policy Citizens Participation Group. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank
you for having us.
Okay?
Thank you so much. And we wish you all the luck in the future. Team 4!
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick song break. This is Charlie Puth, your favorite, Laura. Charlie Puth.
Charlie Puth.
And Jungkook, Left, Right, Left.
Wow.
Memories follow me left and right. I can feel you over here. I can feel you over here. You take up every corner of my mind. What you gonna do now? Ever since the day you went away, no, I don't know how to erase your body from out my brain. What you gonna do now? Maybe I should just focus on me instead. All I think about are the nights we were tangled up in your bed. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. You're going round in circles, got you stuck up in my head. Yeah. Memories follow me left and right. I can feel you over here. I can feel you over here. You take up every corner of my mind. Your love stays with me day and night. I can feel you over here. I can feel you over here. You take up every corner of my mind. What you gonna do now? Ever since the day you went away, tell me how much more do I gotta drink for the pain? What you gonna do now? You did things to me that I just can't forget. Think about all the nights we were tangled up in your bed. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. You're going round in circles, got you stuck up in my head. Yeah. Memories follow me left and right. I can feel you over here. I can feel you over here. You take up every corner of my mind. Your love stays with me day and night. I can feel you over here. I can feel you over here. You take up every corner of my mind. What you gonna do now? Does you know you're the one that got away? And even though, baby, I'm still not okay. Did you know that my dreams, they're all the same? Every time I close my eyes, memories follow me left and right. I can feel you over here. I can feel you over here. You take up every corner of my mind. What you gonna do? Your love stays with me day and night. I can feel you over here. I can feel you over here. You take up every corner of my mind. What you gonna do now? I can feel you over here. I can feel you over here. You take up every corner of my mind. What you gonna do now?
안녕하세요. 고품격 영어 방송 Inside Out 부산의 품격 있는 writer Steve입니다. Winners of Inside Out Busan listeners participation segment will get full course meal voucher from Golden Lizzie, a gourmet restaurant in Gyeongdong and Yeonsan-dong, where you can taste cuisine from Michelin Guide featured Chef Kim. 미슐랭 셰프의 파인 레스토랑 골든 리지에서 10만 원 외식 상품권. A place to entertain your brain and eyes. Museum of Illusions. 당신의 눈과 뇌를 즐겁게 하는 곳. Museum of Illusion 부산 착시미술관 입장권. 언제나 맛있는 커피를 신선하게 만드는 양산에 위치한 인투 로스터리. Coffee voucher and a pack of fresh coffee whole beans sponsored by Into Roastery in Yangsan. A delicious brunch for two from Gorilla Brewing Busan, Gwangan branch, the leader of Korean handmade beer culture. 수제 맥주 전문점 고릴라 브루잉 부산에서 제공하는 식사권. We prepare admission tickets for the Busan X the Sky Top Floor Observatory, which is located at LCT in Haeundae, the highest place in Busan. 부산 대표 랜드마크 해운대 LCT에 위치한 하늘 위의 바다. 부산 X the Sky 전망대 입장권을 선물로 드립니다. IOB와 함께하는 품격 있는 선물. It's all yours, listeners.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for quote unquote. Here are the final segments at Inside Out Busan every day. Steve's in the studio. Friday writer Steve.
Hello,
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve. Have you been working out, Steve?
Yeah.
I can see your body is
Oh, can you put that arm down,
triangular.
please? Triangular. Steve, let's center yourself just a little bit in the camera. I know
My
it's
husband
tough with
does
your...
this when he wants to look
Right here?
muscular. He,
Right
he crosses his arms and he puffs up his chest and he pushes his arm.
Pushes his biceps kind of up, right? Yeah.
And so he sent me a picture recently. I was like, "Why are you trying to make your muscles look big?" And he's like,
Maybe you learned it from Steve.
Steve.
Steve, thank you so much for coming in for today's quote unquote.
네.
Right? You do every Friday's segment. What do you got for us today?
Today I've brought a quote from the book 뇌 욕망의 비밀을 풀다. English is
욕망의 비밀 풀다.
네, Brain View, written by Hans Georg Hölzel. He's German. So this book covers the secrets of neuroscience that govern human consumer psychology.
Love it. Very interesting.
And
Brain.
the quote for today is, the brain has a tendency to better remember the first and last experiences among many events. Simply put, for a customer in a particular situation, the most important thing is the last one. The final memory lingers persistently and doesn't fade away.
So kind of like first impression of something or somebody, and then like the final memory you have of that thing.
That's right. So in the past, whenever I met people, I always focus on the first impression. 첫인상이죠.
네.
When people talk about their interactions, they often ask, what was your first impression of that person? Rather than asking, what was your last impression of that person? 그렇지 않나요?
Yeah, because I've had first impressions where I thought, ugh, and then I've given that person more chances, and I'm sure people have felt that about me too. And you know, you get to know someone based on the last action that they took. But then, you know, the 중간 point is also important. I don't know. So what about you?
About me?
Yeah.
I think, first impression, it does matter too. But as I read this book, and then I started to realize first and last is same. 그러니까 똑같이 중요해요.
맞아요. Because, you know, you want to give everybody a second chance. If your first impression wasn't that good.
Yeah, but sometimes I don't want to give somebody a second
That's
chance.
true. I mean, that's totally your choice, right?
If their first impression was really bad,
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, I never want to see that person again.
That's why I completely agree with Steve. First impression is as important as the last one.
But sometimes the first impression is the last impression.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, that's.
Girls, you know I'm super deep.
I thought it was sad guru. 놀랐어요.
Guys.
근데
네.
맞아요. Like I feel like even if let's say your first impression was good, and then towards the end, like that last impression of somebody, let's say it was just not so good. That's like the only thing you're gonna remember of that person. So might as well be the first impression
That's
of
right.
the person, right?
Now I'm confused. I feel like we're back at the Monday Riddler.
So, like for me, like recently I visited a showroom to see the dream car I wanted. The brand of the company is well known, and I had been longing for it. So the first impression was undoubtedly good.
Yeah.
However, after experiencing disappointing customer service from the dealer, the feeling of my first impression vanished, and all that remained was a last impression filled with discomfort and dissatisfaction.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean I won't buy the car in the future,
Yeah.
but I made a firm decision not to make a deal with that dealer.
Was it because you're young and handsome and got like the guns out and he was like, oh, jealous.
I
So he
guess.
wasn't very nice to you?
생각해보니까 그런 것 같네요.
그런 것
I
같아요.
feel so sorry for him now.
Yeah, good. He was jealous.
I'm sorry, dealer. 죄송합니다.
So what is like the main realization or lesson that you want listeners to take from this?
So what I realized is that just as the first impression is important, the last impression is also crucial. 그래서 여러분들도 다음에 누군가를 만날 때 첫인상도 중요하지만 마지막 인상도 중요하다는 것을 잊지 마세요.
맞아요. So like with that example Steve gave, he walked into that showroom and he had a good impression because he saw his dream car, obviously, right? And everything, he's filled with good thoughts. But it's because of the attitude and actions of that dealer, let's say, it just shatters everything away that was good about that place. And he left thinking, I'm never going to come here again.
100%. My thing is always, and this is another quote that's really good actually, we can maybe bring this sometime, but people won't remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel.
That too.
And so if somebody makes you feel uncomfortable, no matter what it was they said to make you feel uncomfortable, you're going to remember that feeling. The body remembers that emotion.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Get that dealer out of here. Go somewhere else, Steve.
Nice. So for our listeners, real quick, Steve, that first sentence of that quote you brought is like just enough. You want to read it once again for our listeners?
Okay. The brain has a tendency to better remember the first and last experiences among many events.
Yeah. That's how the brain works.
So let's make this final part of the show a good one, shall we?
Yes, let's do it.
Thank you so much, Steve, for quote unquote.
Bravo!
We'll see you again
Bravo, my
next
good man.
Friday.
Yeah.
Until then, today's show was produced by Kim Yoon, written by Im Soo-jin and Nam Dong-hwa. Steve, hosted by Laura McCluckey.
And hosted by Min Soo-shin.
What's the final song?
Feist.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We all know how to count.
Have a beautiful weekend, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you Monday.
Bye.
Your door left you with nothing, but they want some more. You're changing your heart. You know who you are. Sweetheart, bitter heart. Now I can't tell you apart. Cozy and cold. Put the horse before the cart. Those teenage hopes who have tears in their eyes, too scared to run up to one little lie. You're changing too hard. You know who you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. Money can't buy you back the love that you had then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, or 10. Money can't buy you back the love that you had then.
부산을 한 장의 사진에 담는다면 어디로 가야 할까요? 꼬꼬마 시절 이때만큼은 세상을 내려다보며